Cool. What's up, Rosner? How you doing? Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Just messing around with Zoom. I've used it to go live on Facebook. I figured I'd mess around and do a little bit of back to school research. Happy summer, man. Hope LA is treating you well. So give me 1 second to go yell at my dog. I will be right back. I'll get a couple more people on here, and then we will hop into it and start going into some Etsy research on back to school. If you guys haven't seen my post in the Merch by Amazon Masterminds group, back to school is about to hit and go off. We'll look at Google Trends and show you exactly what I'm looking at. But I thought it'd be fun to just play around with Zoom a little bit. I haven't done any live streaming to YouTube. So far, I'm happy with it. It's better than Facebook because Facebook's live streaming sucks. All right, got 10 people live. Let's share this link in the group and let's see what happens. Give me 1 second. Come on, Facebook. That's interesting. Let's see if this works. All right. Let's see how many people join us. What's up, RJ? What are you doing, fool? All right. Everybody, as you can see, I am on Etsy right now. I typed in back to school shirt up here at the top. Pay attention to this stuff here, right? So this is Etsy telling us other terms that people are searching for. Guess what? Like this stuff is also applicable to Merch by Amazon. Like you can use this in your listings. This is stuff you should be targeting. So back to school outfit. You know, back to school SVG is obviously not going to help us on merch, but it does show us kind of where things are. Back to school sign is also not going to help us on merch, but that's something that people are looking for. They're looking for something to make the experience unique for their customers. So I opened up a bunch of these different listings. And let's just kind of go through it. Let's start looking at it. So team first grade, any kind of these squad team shirts do really well. You can see that this is custom, right? Like they have the teacher's name right here. Cactuses are very, very popular right now. You can see, and this is the beauty of Etsy, personalization. Add grade and teacher name. If grade other than grade is desired, specify. If no teacher name is desired, specify none, right? So they give you lists in terms of what you want to do, but social proof, right? Like over 20 people have this in their cart right here. Like this is the beauty of Etsy. Like this is what I wish people would do more often instead of just taking their merch shirts and throwing them up onto Etsy. Like do the extra step, do some customization, like do this kind of stuff. Because this is what the Etsy customer is looking for. They're looking for very special, very different things that they can't buy anywhere else. That's why they're going to Etsy. What's up, Amy? So you notice here in terms of colors, they actually offer this on a ton of different colors. This is Zoe's Attic. They're one of the top sellers here on Etsy. I am not a huge fan of this. I prefer to keep things simple, to keep it very, very tight. But these guys sell a lot of shirts. As you can see here, 37,000 reviews. They've been on Etsy for a very, very long time. They make a lot of their sales based not on price. They've been around for a very long time. But you can see like they're selling it for $23 plus $5 shipping. So that's a $28 shirt. They make really good quality stuff that they personalize or that they make different, that they make that stands out. They're doing things that are going to look different in the marketplace. If you notice here on their first image, like they're zoomed in super, super tight on the image, so it really shows and pops off the thumbnail. Like all of that stuff kind of matters. They're taking the little details that make a difference. This one here, happy first day of school. This one is very basic. You can see that as we get in tighter here, like they have a couple of little like graphics and stuff. Very basic, but sometimes simple sells really well on Etsy. It does really well. In terms of the mock-up, like I'm not a huge fan. Like, why is there a coffee cup with blessed here for happy first day of school? It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm always a big fan of keeping things congruent, keeping things very in line with what we're doing. If you're not going to use a back to school mock-up, if you're not going to use something specifically that's styled for back to school, like don't have other things in there that are going to drag your attention away from the design. I hate having anything in the design here or anything in the mock-up that has a different saying on it because it draws your eyes away from the design. So again, social proof, 3 people want this in their cart right now. Like we're at the beginning of July. Like this is the beginning of the demand spike. This is the beginning of when people are going to start to really buy a lot of stuff. This is why like I'm shouting from the top of the mountains, make sure that you guys are getting your stuff out there. As you can see, this is a printful shirt. So you can always tell that because the buyer was too lazy to actually put up other mock-ups of their stuff. I am not a fan of this at all. I think it looks very cheap. I don't think it's a good experience for the customer. It's just literally just throwing up as much stuff as you can right here. Again, the whole idea, and like this is like I preach this. Like as I start to do more Etsy content, we're gonna start doing a lot more Etsy content over the next couple of months. Like keep things congruent, keep things so they flow and work and feel the same. Like there's a dramatic difference between this image here and this image here. And if the customer is looking at this and doing this, like that's not a good experience. It doesn't really help to tie in the idea that like you're selling a very high quality product, that your store is something that they should feel comfortable buying from. Same thing here with the size guide, right? Like nothing about this is special. It gets lost. First of all, I would have this further up in the listing. I wouldn't have it at the very last picture. Like this is important. Your customer wants to know what size they should be ordering. But like spend some time on these. These little details can really help. Like, let's go to their store. Okay. On Etsy since 2017, they have 4,000 sales. Okay. So they've done well on Etsy. However, is anything about this right here, like, does any of this make you feel comfortable to order? Does it make you feel good compared to, let's go to the Zoe's Attic shirt. What's up, Teresa? All right, so let's go to Zoe's Attic and let's look at the difference. Everything in here all kind of makes sense. It's congruent. It all works together. Anyways, enough of my soapbox. This is the stuff that drives me nuts. Like it just doesn't look good. Okay, so on to the next listing. This, again, personalized. Personalized is huge. You're making your customer feel special. You're making your customer realize, like, you're making a one-of-a-kind item for the customer. Personalization is one of the things I think that every single Etsy seller should be doing. What's up, Jason? How you doing, bro? Back to school stuff. This is obviously a child shirt. You see the apple, you see the pencil, like the lines here, like they're writing on paper. Again, social proof, beginning of July. Like school is not starting up until August at the very beginning. Eric Wood, nobody wants your niches, bro. They're tainted by Cleveland. This is the very beginning of this demand curve. Like if we go to Google Trends, all right, so you can see like we're just kind of starting off here at July 8th. Like we're back here, okay? The demand curve is just kind of starting. It hits its peak right here, August 5th to the 11th. You guys need to get on this as soon as possible if you're not. If you're not doing this on merch, like you're just missing out on money. You're literally giving it away. But if you're not doing it on Etsy, it's the exact same story. All right, so preschool tribe, very basic design. This is, again, tribe or squad. Anytime you have something that you can sell to multiple people is good. I like the fact that this person is using actual mock-ups, right? So stuff that looks good. I would prefer if the background was the same. Again, like the whole idea is keep things congruent, keep things the same. But like how much better of an experience is this for the customer? Everything looks the same. It looks authentic versus just a bunch of, pictures, a bunch of shirts on a really bad mock-up over and over and over again. Shirt for preschool teachers, right? Like niching down within the back to school niche is good. It's very powerful. Let's see. Some banner is better than no banner. I would also say, again, back to the same idea, right? Put the same amount of care and quality into your banners, into your logos, everything else that you're putting into your designs, that you're putting into your mockups. It makes a difference. It makes a really dramatic difference when a customer comes to your store to feel comfortable to spend money with you. Hooray for the first day. Hooray for this right here. 15 people have this in their cart right now. I'm going to keep driving this home right now. Like, it's a big deal. You should be doing this. You should be going after that. This is like a brand new Etsy store too. Like they have 10 reviews. Teacher and Tots, like the banner makes sense. You know instantly what this is about, right? Like you know instantly that this is for school stuff. Laid out well, like everything makes sense, good designs. Looks like they are selling it 3 different color options. Again, $23, and they're charging $5 in shipping. So notice the color selection here. Like this is a good layout, like using 2 fonts only, like very primary color type, school color type stuff. You have contrast on the dark shirt with the white font, like all of this works. It's a good design. I am not answering questions about merch. This is all about Etsy, but I'm sure that if you go into the Merch by Amazon Mastermind Facebook group and go through and read all of the posts that are there, you will see some fantastic information. Also, if you watch the other videos in my channel, there's some really good advice about merch that will help you out. So, hello first grade, hello pre-K, hello kindergarten, right? Like, so different ways to niche down. You'll see this arrow theme a lot in the back to school stuff here. They're showing just different examples of what you can do. Again, personalization, right? These guys are hopping on that low price leader right there, $14.99. Let's see, are they charging shipping? Shipping and returns. Looks like free shipping, $14.99. So this is one that you have to compete with by quality. Like these are just super, super basic. Like these are people that are making money based on volume, not necessarily on the quality of their stuff. You definitely have the ability to stand out and compete against these people and charge a lot more and win. Seeing a theme here? Back to school shirt, personalized school pickup truck, right? Like personalization. And you can see like over and over and over again, like 9 people have this in their cart. This is the variable of success on Etsy, like your ability to create those custom things, to create things that are different. Just a little bit of customer service can make you a lot of money. Game On fourth grade. You can see both teacher shirts and Game On back to school shirt, fourth grade shirts. So they're trying to double dip. They're trying to sell to both teachers and to fourth graders. I like the fact, much like us right now, right? Like we just released our own back to school mockups. I'm guessing this seller probably does these themselves. Like this is not a mockup you can buy anywhere else, but it's smart. Pencils, like the little backpack, right? Like you instantly know what this shirt is for, and it helps tie everything in. It makes it more congruent and better for the shopper when they're buying. It's that little thing, that little visual cue that can help out to make your listing stand out in search. Same thing here, right? Like this thing has been styled. It looks kind of back to school. You can see the cute little jacket. You can see the backpack here and the shoes. Like how much more does this stand out and look better than the competition that we've seen so far, right? Like it just instantly pops. Other people want this. 4 people have it in their carts. The vinyl shirts, they're making it themselves. I'm guessing they probably made this themselves in terms of their mock-up. This is, so I see some people doing this. It's generally smaller sellers that are doing like embroidery and stuff like that. And they're so focused on the idea of showing their design and showing their embroidery, you don't really realize it's a shirt. Yeah, Eric, I do free, well, no. We have one shop we do free shipping. We have one shop that we charge shipping in. It was kind of arbitrary. It was just kind of testing it. And then I've just left it because they both sell really, really well. I don't find a noticeable difference between the two. The shop that I have that charges shipping, nobody ever complains about shipping. It does really good numbers. The shop that we do free shipping in, it does really well too. I haven't seen a difference. I know that Etsy is they're like emphasizing it a lot. They're talking about it a lot in terms of something that they're really trying to push people towards because they're trying to compete with Amazon. However, I haven't seen anything in the search algorithm that shows me that it makes a difference. And then here we have class of 2032. You can see that this is like a gigantic size shirt. They're selling it for a lot of money too. This is plus shipping, by the way. The idea being that you sell the oversized shirt so your kid can wear it all the way through all of their classes. Interesting concept. Again, personalization, right? Like definitely something in terms of the back to school thing that I would focus on if I was selling on Etsy. Go through here really quickly. Seeing lots and lots of kids shirts, right? Back to school. School is a kids thing. Teacher shirts will sell also, but primarily it is definitely a kids event. You're going to sell a lot of kids shirts if you can come up with ways to stand out and be different. Cute shirt. I'm just opening up things that stand out to me visually. I like this. This is smart. That is one of the biggest sellers on Etsy right here, 789. So let's look at their stuff. Okay, so 789 is one of the biggest sellers on Etsy. I love the way that they have their branding inside their mockups here. You instantly know who it is for and what it's about. Again, the whole idea of selling the back to school thing, making it pop. I love that they've got the chalkboard, the colored pencils, the shoes. You instantly know that this is a back to school shirt. White shirt, pink background, so you have some contrast. It looks really, really good. Yeah, Eric makes a good point. I debate with myself if I would spend $20 on myself. For my son, I would impulse buy to over $20, 100%. That's how parents are with their kids. And especially like moms with that first day of school, it's their chance, their baby is leaving, they're going to school. Like you want to make it special. You want to make sure you can take a picture to commemorate it. You want to make sure that, this is the right item. This is a special item for them. So doing those little steps, making things that stand out, making things that look different from the competition is how you get that sale. Like that's how you get the sale on Amazon too. You want to get the sale on Amazon, make sure that your thumbnail, make sure that your image on your design really pops and really stands out. Etsy, like, you have more capabilities. You have the ability to do extra things to make your stuff stand out. So, I mean, I've been yelling about this for a while. We do have a mockup store. We sell mockups, but seriously, you are giving away money by not doing this. Like, if you're depending on just basic, simple mockups, the same mockup over and over and over again, everything looks redundant. Everything looks the same. This book right here, I don't know, can you see it? Yeah. So this book right here, it's called Purple Cow. It's by Seth Godin. This should be like required reading for anybody that is trying to sell anything on the internet. And the whole idea is, if you're driving and you're going past a field that is full of cows, right? All of the black and white cows look exactly the same. They all blend together. They all look the same. You don't notice a difference between any of them. However, if you were to see a purple cow, it would instantly stand out. And Seth's contention is that to stand out today in the internet, to stand out today in marketing, period, where we're getting bombarded with so many different messages to buy things, to look at this stuff, like go to an Amazon page, and how difficult is it to stand out, right? You have to be a purple cow. You have to do something that is dramatically different than the competition. You have to do something that is going to really elevate both what you're selling, but also be different enough to grab somebody's attention and make them stop on what you're doing. So that's why I'm a huge fan of like the branding thing. I'm a huge fan of doing this, not only in their listings, but also with custom mockups. These guys have been around for a while. I've been sniping them for a while, like following what they do, because they do it really, really, really well. Simple branding. You see their logo stands out. Their logo is here. It looks very professional. They've been around on Etsy since 2009, which is why they have a shit ton of sales, but they also just do it really well. They mix in lifestyle stuff with the mockups here. You'll see for a lot of their stuff, they've got a set of lifestyle mockups that they just use over and over and over again. But they do mix in a decent amount of flat lays like this stuff here. So they crush. And charging $3.75 shipping. So one of the questions we get all the time is like, what do you price your shirts at on Etsy? I think it matters on the niche that you're in. But largely, honestly, like, once you have some social proof built up, once you have a decent number of reviews and you have, a decent number of listings in your shop, and you've done the hard work, you've done the branding, you've done the logo creation, everything in your shop kind of feels and looks like it's made for the customer, you can charge quite a bit. Like, you don't have to settle for $19.99 plus $5 shipping. Like, you can definitely charge more than that. Stand out. Pre-K vibes. This shirt has been around for a while. I remember last year looking at this exact same shirt. Might have been from this person. I don't know. Again, social proof. Other people want this. 3 people have it in their carts. I am not a huge fan of these like wood mock-ups here. Again, I think they shot this themselves because the lighting is not great. It's just, you can see the tag here in the shirt. The tag is kind of wrinkled right here. It's just not a great picture. I'm assuming that this is vinyl. Yeah, so same kind of thing here. These sunglass things, like making the kids seem cool for boys, especially, like, don't forget that there are boys and girls going to school, right? Make sure that you're designing designs for boys. Make sure you're designing designs for girls. It's the exact same reason that, like, we design mock-ups the exact same way. Mock-ups for boys, mock-ups for girls, mock-ups for men, mock-ups for women. They're different buyers. They're looking for different things. Make sure that everything aligns. Make sure that it all works together. Just not a fan of this just because it doesn't really pop and it doesn't stand out. But you can see people like that particular style and that particular design. I know it does well. I dig this. Like, just lots of contrast, colors work, fonts work. Just everything about it works really well. I even like the way that it's styled here. It looks like it's for a little kid. I like the way that they're working through different mock-ups just to show you the different variety of things that they sell. Just smart. Just everything in here works really well. What's going on, Tim? What's going on, Jay? You can see down here, this is something like item details. Make sure that you guys are filling this stuff out. Make sure you're spending time to describe why they should buy this stuff. This is obviously very cheap. They're not, $15.25 price is an option here, or price is an objection here, if you're going to try and compete with this particular design. But I like what they're doing. Like, you guys should try and, try and integrate this kind of stuff into the things that you're doing. Later, Eric. Back to school. Okay, so they're using glitter on this. Obviously, that's not something we can do. I would argue that this is something that is going to get lost in the shuffle. Like, you can see that this isn't a very great picture. It's kind of blurry. The shorts are blurry here. The shoes are blurry here. It just doesn't look great. Glitter is going to be something that's popular on Etsy. You'll see it quite a bit. These are people that are making their own shirts. It's not something we can do on POD. This here, again, like, why are you showing like bricks and stuff as your background? It just looks poor. It just doesn't look great. Make it pretty. Like, people, the majority of buyers on Etsy are women. Etsy buyers are going to want to buy stuff that is pretty. I just don't get it. They've been on Etsy since 2016. They've got 9,500 sales. They obviously do decent. I just feel like they could do better, though. Like, you can always do better. You can always improve, make your stuff stand out. They obviously sell a ton of like sports stuff here. It's like personalized sports stuff for different sports. Smart. Way to niche down with your store. All right, so we're gonna look at like just a couple more, and then, in fact, let's do this. Back to school shirt teacher, because this is the other angle on the niche, right? It's kids and teachers. Some mom shirts too, but I think majority of the stuff that's going to be sold is kids and teachers. Which best, Etsy or Teespring? Two totally different things. I prefer Etsy. Teespring is much more like merch by Amazon. Never had success with Teespring, so you're talking to the wrong person. All right, so back to school t-shirt, back to school shirt. Like, pay attention to the way they're writing their titles. It's going to give you a clue on why some of this stuff is ranking. This is clearly a mock-up. It's not a great mock-up, especially because you can see kind of the lines around the design and everything else. Like, it just doesn't look right. It looks very fake. Make sure if you're doing mock-ups, like, make sure that your design actually looks like it fits on the shirt. And then the same thing here, right? Like, it's just a bunch of different variations of the same picture with a different color. Like, that just, the design doesn't look good. All right, so my favorite people call me Miss Smith. Again, personalization. They are playing the price game. However, you can see other people want this. Over 20 people have this in their cart. Like, I think that this is a hideous shirt. You can do so much more than this. Like, literally, like, just do the personalization and then do some things that tie it into school. Like, add some color to it, add some pop, add some design to it, pencil, apple, ruler, like things that are going to help to identify it as a teacher shirt. Same thing too, right? Like, have the mock-up. Like, if I was to just scroll through the listings and look at this stuff, this would not stand out to me as a teacher shirt. There's nothing about it that makes it pop as a teacher shirt. So if you're going to do a design that is just white writing, which is fine, some teachers are going to buy that. Like, why not do a mock-up that is styled for back to school? Why not do a mock-up that's going to show instantly like this is for school stuff? Again, you see personalization here. It's massive. Like, if you're not doing personalization stuff in your Etsy store, you're giving away money. People want it. Parasquad, okay. Paraprofessional, again, smart way of niching down within. This is for teachers that are dealing with disabled students. You instantly know that it's kind of about school just because of the coloring and everything else. Money is in the niches. Money is in niching down and finding those small little opportunities that are not overrun. I do not do any one-on-one consulting for Etsy or store reviews right now, Kathleen. It's something we've talked about with my wife. If I don't know how much you interact with my content, I have no shortage of things on my plate right now. It is something I think that we may do prior to Q4. I don't know. We've talked about it. It's not something that's like firm on the books though. Same thing. This is the same seller, so not surprising. Like you're seeing the same exact stuff. Um, Shipping is 395. So they're doing like 18, yeah, like 1895 basically, roughly, right? Over 20 people want this in their cart right now. Back to school. Um, you can do better than this. Like you guys can do better than this. I promise you. All right. Why is it so slow? This is the thing that drives me nuts about Etsy sometimes. Okay, personalization. Favorite people call me Miss Johnson, right? So like this is a saying you can definitely figure out a different way of spinning it, but obviously it's directed at teachers. Again, personalization. $23.99. Let's see, are they charging shipping and free shipping? Okay. Let's look at their store. All right, you can see that obviously teachers, they have the subcategory here, teachers set up. This is a big part of what they do. Curious why they have the disparity in price between some of their stuff. That's interesting. But you can see super basic, right? Like just either white font, black font, like there's not a lot of color. This one's monogrammed, lots of personalization, and then niching down with the different grades and stuff. Other people want this. Over 20 people have this in their carts. Back to school, guys. Like back to school, personalization, like just it works. I like the way that the mockups, white background, it's real clean. You can see they use basically the same thing over and over again. Last one is like a close up. This one, like it's smart, right? Like you can do this. Bella Canvas has an image library that you guys can pull up. This is a size chart for Bella Canvas. Proudly use Bella Canvas, so they're displaying what they're selling. They're differentiating from the competition because they talk about the shirt they're using. This is a brand that we get asked about on Etsy all the time. Like, what shirt do you use? Do you use Bella? People know this stuff. It will help to differentiate from your competition because they know they're not getting a cheap Fruit of the Loom or Hanes shirt that's like rough. It's overly heavy or overly thin. Like it's a really nice shirt. We sell the Bella Canvas 3001 a ton of. Let's look at one more in their grouping here and see what it looks like. Other people want this. 5 people have this in their cart right now. I'm telling you right now, guys, there's so much demand that is just starting up. Like, the reason I wanted to start this live is we have the 4th of July coming up tomorrow. A ton of you guys have long weekends. Every single one of you guys should be doing this stuff this weekend. Otherwise, you hate money. Personalization's easy, man, Tim. Like literally, like you should have, if you can't do it yourself, you should have a VA that's designated that you set aside a portion of their day every single day to do this stuff. Like it's so easy. You just set it up as a template. You set up the shirt, the fonts are already set up. You just put it in there. I mean, you're talking less than 2 to 3 minutes to be able to set this up. Super, super, super easy, especially if you're just batching it. So they're doing it over and over and over again. I don't know why that one. Oh, here we go. All right. So just a point for you guys. Make sure that there's contrast. Like this gray on the navy here is not going to print very well. It's not going to stand out and it's not going to look great. It also doesn't display very well in the search results. Like it's just hard to read. Like make sure that there's more contrast here when you guys are doing darker shirts. Lucy's Chick Boutique. Let's look at this. Kid store. So lots of different kid shirts, it looks like. Some mom stuff, some lady stuff, some teacher stuff, but it's mostly kid stuff. Smart niche to be in. You can do very, very well here by just focusing down really, really hard inside one niche and finding your little sweet spot. So I have a store on Etsy that has 79 listings. It is all within one niche. And we did at our high points last month, our rolling 30-day total was about $15,000 in revenue. On the month, we made a little bit over $6,000 in profit out of that one store, just 79 listings. But like, this is why I'm so passionate about doing the little things. Like, you should have a banner here. Like, don't just have the little logo. Like, have a banner. It helps set yourself apart from the rest of your competition. Like, you obviously have kind of a cute logo here. Like, why is there not something up here identifying your shop, making it different, making it stand out? You have the ability to show 4 featured items. Unless you're in an Etsy, paying for Etsy Plus, you can show 4. You should show 4. Like, that's your opportunity to show the best stuff in your shop. If you're paying for Etsy Plus, we do, because it's basically $2 a month. You can show 5 featured items. That helps that stuff stand out. You can lead people down the path where you want them to buy. Also, same tip, right? Like, you notice how there is like all of these different colored mock-ups, different displays, everything else. It just doesn't look professional. It looks thrown together. Like, stuff showing up like this. Like, try and get your mock-ups to look the same, to have the same feel, have similar backgrounds. If you're going to show white background mock-ups, show white background mock-ups. Don't show wood mixed in with all this other stuff, these different colors, wood, etc. Like, invest in this stuff. Like, this is how you make your shop an experience for people to buy in. It's how you make your shop something that makes the customer very comfortable and willing to spend money. This right here, like, this is all the subtle cues to a customer that this isn't really super professional. Like, this is kind of thrown together. I'm not super hot about this. I'm going to go look at another shop and see if they do a better job. I promise you, that's how the customers think. Like, it makes a difference. It really, really does help you with your conversions. That's why, like, that's the whole reason we started shooting our own mockups. It's the whole reason that we started Trunk Studio, was simply because, like, the quality of mockups that are out there is so poor overall. There are a couple sellers that do a decent job, but it's all the same style stuff. It, like, literally all looks the same. So you end up looking exactly the same as the rest of your competition. We try and do stuff that's a little bit different, but it's very sharp, very clear, and really displays your designs. Anybody have any questions really quickly before I sign off? Anybody want to go over anything? Wait for the lag to catch up. There's so much crap in here. It almost motivates me to open up a back to school shop. I just don't have the time right now. I wish that I did. We've got some listings up, but I would do a specific, like, teacher kid back to school shop, and it would crush. Like, it's such a good niche to be in, because you sell stuff throughout the year, from back to school, teacher appreciation, graduation, all of those things. Like, they sell. So there's an app that you can have that is called, I believe it's called Shift. Let me see. Yeah. So it's called Shift. And you can bring in all of those different emails all in together, and basically set them up for each individual shop. So it's like a dashboard for your computer, basically. So it's all there. So I know a couple of different sellers that are, like, pretty high volume sellers that use this, because it allows them to easily and quickly switch back and forth between their different things. And then you can also shift between different Google Chrome tabs, I believe, or Google Chrome logins. So you can have them all set up on their own thing. So it does cost money, but I know it works really well. I know they speak highly of it. Any other questions, people? If you guys haven't been to my mock-up shop, it is Trunk Studio. Let's see if Etsy pulls it up. I'm assuming they will. All right. So did you mean the shop, Trunk Studio? That's us right there. Okay. You can see we started to put up the back to school stuff. We have a little bit of everything right now. The mock-ups are really good. I'm really proud of what my wife put together. Like they're very sharp. They stand out, lots of contrast. They do a good job of displaying what the actual design looks like on the shirt. And I just think they really do make a difference, man. Like there's a reason that we have put up such massive numbers on Etsy for how little number of listings that we have. And it's because all of this stuff works. All of this stuff works together. So, I would invite you guys to check it out. We are running a sale this through the holiday weekend. If you buy 3 mock-ups or more, you're going to get 30% off. It's a good opportunity to just pick up a lot of this stuff and put it up in your shop and start testing it out. So if that is it, guys, if that's all you got, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a happy and safe 4th of July. Don't do stupid stuff. If you're going to light fireworks off, like make sure that you're careful. And please, please, please don't drink and drive. But thank you for joining me. We'll probably be doing a lot more content related to Etsy. It's just the stuff that I enjoy. We do a lot of Etsy stuff. We do really well on Etsy. So I'd rather talk about that and help you guys to realize what an opportunity it is, and also show you some of the little tips and tricks, techniques that have helped us to stand out. So hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to stop it right here and I'll call it a night and go hang out with my wife.